Discover the transformative power of Zen and the art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress on Transformation Talk Radio. Every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, Dr. Steve Simpson combines the principles of Zen philosophy with the techniques of Neuro-Linguistic Programming to help you achieve your goals with ease and tranquility. Whether you're seeking personal growth, professional development, or improved relationships, this show offers practical strategies and insights to navigate life's challenges with a calm and focused mindset. Get ready to embrace a new level of success and serenity. Zen and the art of NLP starts now.
Hello everyone, it certainly does start now today, because one of our greatest gifts is probably the one you never think about. It's your innate skill of remembering anchors and using them unconsciously to boost your performance on demand. That's probably why you can't remember them. Get this right and you will glide through life like a swan on a calm lake. Get this wrong and your life might be a never-ending series of tropical storms. I'm Dr. Steve Simpson, and you are listening to Zen and the Art of NLP on Transformation Talk Radio. Every week, we'll choose a topic highlighting a core skill of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, known for short as NLP, because we believe in your potential to grasp and apply these concepts in your life. How can we be so confident about this? Because you're watching or listening to the show, and that's all you have to do. The rest of it will just float over you. So the three foundations of NLP are modeling excellence, number two, using effective language patterns, and number three, which is probably the most important, learning how to connect to the massive power of the unconscious mind, mainly but not only through hypnosis. These foundations form the basis of NLP and are crucial for understanding its principles and techniques. We will also explore Zen philosophies. Zen is a state of calmness, attentiveness, and inner peace. It shares a common goal with NLP to enhance personal development and improve communication. Someone with a Zen attitude approaches a situation calmly and with a focused awareness, because this is the home of peak performance and the source of massive results. Today's headline topic is the power of anchors. Learn how to create your own anchor. And I got three quotes for you today about anchors. Do you know what Greek poet Sophocles thought about anchors? He wrote, "Children are the anchors that hold a mother to life." And the second quote, do you know what film director Andrzej Wajda thought about anchors? He said, "A language also encodes our past. We want to know who we are. To know who we are, we have to know who we used to be. Consequently, our literature, written in the past, anchors is in that past." And do you know, finally, what musician Dave Grohl thought about anchors? He said, "When Nirvana became popular, you could very easily slip and get lost during that storm. I fortunately had really heavy anchors, old friends, family." And the source of these three inspirational quotes is from brainyquote.com. Stay with us for the next 30 minutes and let us help you experience that sweet spot of mind, body, and soul to embrace a new level of success and serenity, helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. Please post your questions and comments, and I'll do my best to answer them in the final part of the show. And if you're brave, you can also call us now at our live call-in number, 1-800-930-2819. This is your chance to engage directly with the topic and share your thoughts with our audience. To remind you, today's headline topic is the power of anchors. Learn how to create your own anchor. That's what we're going to do. In NLP, an anchor is a transformative technique that can create an association between a trigger and a specific emotional or physiological state, inspiring you to apply these techniques for personal growth. So let's get started right now. Step 1 of 3 is learning how to create your anchors, is understanding how Pavlov's experiments with dogs can help us achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress, because that's what we all want. Ivan Pavlov's experiments with dogs are some of the most famous in the history of psychology. They help to lay the foundation for our understanding of classical conditioning, pairing a neutral stimulus with an unconditioned stimulus elicits a conditioned response. In Pavlov's experiments, the unconditioned stimulus was food, which naturally caused the dogs to salivate. This was the unconditioned response. The neutral stimulus was a tone, such as a bell. That's what Pavlov used, a bell. After repeatedly pairing the tone with the food, the bell with the food, the dogs eventually salivate in response to the bell alone, and this is the conditioned response. Although Pavlov did not mention the word anchor, he was creating, without question, a strong anchor for his dogs. Pavlov's work on classical conditioning has profoundly impacted our understanding of human behavior. It's been used to explain a wide range of phenomena, from the development of phobias to the effectiveness of advertising. An example is the Christmas TV adverts, which you've probably seen on the films and the TV. And they are painstakingly created to put you in the mood for Christmas. And they are stacked full of anchors. We've got our 5 senses. We've talked about this many times: what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we smell, and what we taste. And these are the anchors that these people use. So what do you see on a Christmas TV advert? You'll probably see snow. You might see log fires. You'll probably see happy people opening their gifts. What do you hear? You might hear bells. You might hear carols. You might hear laughter. And what do you feel? You feel love. You feel excitement. You feel peace. What do you smell? Maybe roasting food, mulled wine. And advertisers spend a lot of money skillfully combining their anchors, not to make you so much feel good, but to make you spend money on their products, because this makes them happy, very happy indeed. And moving on to step 2. Step 2 of 3 is learning more about anchors and their use in NLP. In NLP, anchoring draws inspiration from Pavlov's famous experiment we talked about. In NLP, anchors refer to stimuli that trigger specific emotional states. These anchors can be created deliberately or arise unintentionally. And here's a quick breakdown of how it works. First, the trigger. This can be anything you perceive through your 5 senses, as we said before. It could be a word, a sound, a gesture, a posture, even an image or a smell. The state. This is the emotional or physiological response you want to associate with the trigger. It could be feeling calm, it could be feeling confident, it could be feeling motivated, or anything else that you choose that will serve you well. The anchoring process involves repeatedly pairing the trigger with the desired state. Doing this creates a neurological link between them. Many people use the thumb and the forefinger, and because it's a very subtle gesture. But if you in your mind you're playing this video in your head of you feeling very confident, all the time you're firing off this anchor. And you can do it very, very subtly. And you can practice doing this on your own, so that when you want to get back to that state, perhaps you are feeling a bit tense, you've got a tough meeting coming up or a test or something, then you can start firing off your anchor. Try it for a month and you won't look back. Understanding these different anchors can help you use them more effectively to manage your emotional states or communicate with others. Here are some more key points to remember about NLP anchors. They can be natural or intentional. We all have anchors in our lives that we may not even realize. A familiar song might take you back to a happy memory, or a particular smell could trigger a negative response or a positive one. There are different types of anchors, as we mentioned, the visual, the auditory, the kinesthetic, that's the feeling or the touch, the olfactory, that's what we smell, and the gustatory, that's what we taste. These anchors can all be used, and they can certainly be used for positive change. By intentionally creating anchors, you can harness them to access resourceful states whenever needed. In NLP, anchors refer to stimuli that trigger specific emotional states. And to remind you, you're listening to Zen and the Art of NLP with me, Dr. Steve Simpson. We're going to take a swift break very shortly, but before we do that, please take a moment to think about these three big questions. Question one, what is the one thing that you desire the most? Desire the most. I'm sure you spent a lot of time thinking about this, and if not, you should. Question two, what is the one thing that is stopping you from achieving what you desire the most? What's stopping you? Because if you can't find out what's stopping you, it reduces your chances of achieving it quite a lot. Question three, which you might not have thought about. What is the one thing that you want to share with others? And the reason why this is perhaps the most important is because when we stop coming from the me place and we're thinking about the you place, we're generating sort of generous frequencies, high frequencies. And quantum theory will tell us that these frequencies will vibrate all over the universe, perhaps, or certainly over a planet anyway. And they're bound to resonate with at least one other person, because there's 8 billion people out there. It's bound to. It's probably going to be more than one person. So you always get repaid for acts of generosity, or that's my experience anyway. And even if you don't, it makes you feel better. So when we return from the break, step 3 of 3 is learning how to create your anchors for your reasons, whether to be happy, whether to be confident, or for something else that's important to you. And as usual, trust me, this is a lot easier than it might sound. So stay tuned. We will be right back, as usual, helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. And we are right back. I hope you enjoyed pondering those 3 big questions during the break. And I've got another big question for you now. In fact, it's a big ask. I'd like you to please email me and tell me how you answered those 3 questions and which, if any, I can help you with. My address is doc@drstephensimpson.com. I want to use this as content for a future show, and in return, you will help others who might be struggling with the same issues. Because as I mentioned before, when you help others, you raise your frequencies and receive many gifts from the universe in return. And you can also be anonymous. Tell me this in your note if you do. The best way to find out more about me and my work, and I hope you do, is to check out my website, drstephensimpson.com. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter and discover plenty of other free stuff to explore, including the Zen Doctor and Poker Genius podcast channels. The Zen Doctor channel is really getting some traction at the moment. It's number 1 in several sections on goodpods.com, as is this one as well. If you feel rich, and I hope you do, and if you're not rich, I hope you soon will be, then you can also purchase some great books, hypnotic audio books, and coaching programs from my website as well. As you would expect, I can confidently recommend any of my products on my website, and a good place to start this week would be the Zen Guided Meditation audiobook. I learned how to meditate at the age of 21, and I'm still learning. It was one of the most valuable investments of my time and money. Meditation and hypnosis are very similar altered mind states. This audiobook contains elements of both and will change the way you think in a good way. I also compose the background music, and it is definitely hypnotic. It has sold many thousands of copies. Listen to this audiobook daily and you will be calmer and make better decisions. After 1 month, you will notice the difference, and your family and your friends will notice the difference even more. Okay, let's move on to step 3 of 3, the final step, which is learning how to create your anchors for your reasons, whether to be happy, to be confident, or for something else that's important to you. NLP anchors are connections formed between an external stimulus and an internal state. Here are some examples using your 5 sensory inputs. The visual anchors, what you see, a calming place. You visualize your favorite calming place, a peaceful beach perhaps. This image can evoke feelings of relaxation whenever you bring it to mind. I used that when I was having a minor operation. Auditory anchors, a sound, a motivational song. A particular song continuously pumps you up. Hearing that song can quickly shift your state to motivated and energized, and that's why many sports people have their favorite music they listen to before they go out and do their stuff. The kinesthetic anchors, the touch, feeling confident. You remember feeling very confident during a successful presentation. As you relive that memory and feel the peak of confidence, you squeeze your thumb and index finger together. Repeating this squeeze later can trigger that confident feeling, as we discussed in the first part of the show. Olfactory anchors, what we smell. Perhaps there's a scent of success from the past. The smell of your favorite cologne or perfume you wore during a significant achievement can trigger feelings of accomplishment. And taste, foods you enjoy when you're celebrating a success. Examples for some people are chocolate, champagne, or some fancy cheese. These are just a few examples. Anchors can be created using any of the senses or a combination of them. A special technique is spatial anchoring in NLP. It's an anchoring technique that influences your emotional state and behavior, and this is one I use quite a lot. It works by associating specific locations or objects in physical space with desired emotional states or mindset, and this is how it works. Identify a desired state that you want. First, you pinpoint the emotional state or mindset you want to access quickly. This could be feeling confident. It could be feeling calm or focused. Step 2 is create the anchor. While experiencing the desired state, you associate it with a physical location or an object through your senses. This could involve standing in a specific spot in a room, touching a particular object, or making a specific gesture with your body. And step 3 is triggering the anchor. Later, simply by revisiting the physical location or object of or mimicking the gesture, you can trigger the associated emotional state that you wanted. For instance, if you want to feel calm when giving presentations, you might anchor the feeling of calmness to a specific chair you always sit in when you prepare. Then right before your presentation, sitting in that chair can trigger a calm feeling. Now, there's a really good technique, and this takes a bit of imagination, but I want you to imagine in front of you there is an invisible glass screen. And the way you use this is because a lot of our communication, as we've mentioned, is through the hands, and this glass screen helps you to get used to moving your hands. Because if you imagine you're putting a post-it, when you make a point, you put a post-it in a particular place. When you want to ask a question, you put this post-it in a different place. And don't worry too much about where you're putting them, because your unconscious mind will join those dots together. But it will help people to understand what you're saying. It will relax people, and it will teach you to getting used to using your hands. Because in some countries, we don't use our hands enough. And where I come from is a good example. You go to Italy and you don't need to speak any Italian. You know exactly what those people are saying. Spatial anchoring is a powerful tool for personal development because it allows you to take control of your emotional state on demand. Creating and triggering your own anchors is a skill that takes practice. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress as you complete each of these baby steps. Okay, we've had a few questions come in before. And Polly wants to know, can a phobia be helped by an anchor? Well, we know a family can be triggered by an anchor in like a bad way. I mean, often a phobia will start from young childhood when we're involved in a situation that's really scary for us. It's not really scary for an adult, but to a young child it is. And this is the cause of phobias that people have about spiders, for example. It's a very common phobia. So can a phobia be helped by an anchor? Well, if it could be caused by an anchor, it can be helped because you just switch the anchor from a bad one to a good one. There are other methods actually for phobias, but we don't have time to talk about those. But Polly, that's the answer to your question. Norris wants to know if addiction is an anchor. Well, it definitely is, because let's take alcohol abuse as an example. Because when somebody becomes addicted to alcohol, it's because when they have a drink, it makes them feel good. And if they do this enough times, alcohol is addictive for some people. For some people, it doesn't seem to be, but for some people it is, and they can't do without it. So yes, the nice feeling that you get from a glass of wine anchors that emotional state and anchors you to the act of drinking the wine. So is it an anchor? Yes, it can. And that can be used to help to treat people who have that problem. Amy wants to know how important is smell as an anchor? It can be really, really important. Smell is unique because of our five senses. Smell doesn't go through any processing stages. It goes straight from the receptors to the action, to where the action will be taken in our mind. And so why is this so? I don't think anybody really knows, but it could be evolutionary. When we lived in the rainforest or the jungle, a big danger would be a forest fire. And so we can smell fire from miles away, and that might give you the time to get out of the way. Anyway, now it's time for the Zen and the art of NLP, the top tip of the week. Practice. I know it'll feel strange, but practice putting your post-it notes on the glass screen that's in front of you, because this is the easy way to a lot more success with a lot less stress. And I'm running out of post-its. So thanks for joining us today. We've got a great program lined up for you on the same day, at the same time, and at the same place next week. We are probably going to be talking about the reptile brain. Be there and invite all your friends and family and everybody else too, even the people you don't like, because who knows, you might even get to enjoy their company and they might be your best friend. Who knows, because stranger things have happened. We do live in a strange world. In the meantime, let's all raise the vibration of ourselves and our world to a higher frequency, because it certainly needs it. And one of the ways we can do this is by going out there and helping other people if they need it or want it. Finally, don't forget to check out my website, drstephensimpson.com, sign up for my free weekly newsletter, and discover plenty of other great stuff too. Don't forget to send me your answers to the big 3 questions I posted just before the break. What do you desire the most? What's stopping you? And what are you going to share with others? Thanks for joining us on the show. I look forward to meeting you all again next week. In the meantime, meet many exciting new people, make massive progress on your projects, and most importantly, have almost too much fun. Goodbye for now.
You have been listening to the Zen and Art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress. Tune in every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as we dive into the depths of your unconscious mind and awaken your intuition, unlocking hidden talents and supercharging your personal and professional relationships. Continue embarking on a stress-free journey towards unparalleled success by subscribing to future episodes and stay updated on the latest content. Easily share these captivating shows with your loved ones and create meaningful connections. Book a personal session with Dr. Steve Simpson to delve deeper into the topics that resonate with you. You can visit his website at drstephensimpson.com.